I wrote a book titled Educating for Humanity, Rethinking the Purposes of Education. Its purpose is to address the critical issues of our time by presenting a new set of guiding principles and purposes for education. We urgently need a global education system that addresses racism, the widening gap between rich and poor, and the rise of nationalism, which weakens global cooperation. We are also facing the devastating effects of global warming, the single largest existential threat to all life on Earth. The responsibility and impact are unequally distributed. While America and other wealthy nations bear much of the responsibility for carbon emissions, it is poorer countries that pay the highest price. People in Africa, India, and Asia, with fewer resources to protect themselves, suffer disproportionately from storms, floods, high winds, and fires caused by climate change. Our modern lifestyles, which contribute to global warming, are morally indefensible. Those of us in developed nations need to simplify our lives and reduce our carbon footprint. In an ideal world, a global educational curriculum based on the principles in Educating for Humanity could guide us toward the world we all desire. The book has 4 key sections: self, community, earth, and spirit. The first section, self, emphasizes the importance of individuals understanding themselves, their values, desires, and unique calling. A world full of disconnected individuals is itself fragmented. But we are not isolated. We live within communities and have responsibilities to them, whether they are families, neighborhoods, or work in school networks. Humans would not have survived if we did not gather together collectively and learn to work cooperatively. The absolute need to work collectively was one of the things early humans learned. Early humans, and many indigenous cultures today, recognize another essential truth: Earth is our mother, and whatever we do to her will return to us. Earth, therefore, is the third domain. Native Americans and indigenous peoples understood that taking care of the earth and its resources, the water, animals, trees, and nutrient-rich soil, was vital. To them, all of life was sacred, and we need to restore that reverence. The final domain is spirit. Spirit is not just an individual journey, it is the love and wisdom that connects all things. I think of God as the focus of our attention, and if we give attention to these 4 domains, self, community, earth, and spirit, we will be on the path to a healthy planet and a healthier humanity. What might such a world look like? I envision a place where laughter and smiles are universal, where peace and happiness are a part of life's fabric. This shift would create a depth of consciousness that allows humanity to live in harmony with ourselves, our communities, and all living things, animals, birds, fish, and even the microbes in our soil. Everything is sacred. This is something that indigenous people around the world knew. And when we lose this reverence, things fall apart. Humanity is, in many ways, discontented. Too many live in fear, uncertain about their next meal, while others possess wealth beyond their needs. The gap between the richest and the poorest has never been bigger, and at this time in history, that is a great shame. All of this also winds up becoming a disaster. Those of us in America and other wealthy parts of the world have an ecological footage print that is outsized. Did you know that if everyone on Earth lived like Americans, we would need 5 planets to support the demand? I remember in television episode of Star Trek, where aliens observed that humans, with our unchecked expansion, are like a destructive force. This notion is sobering, reminding us of the urgent need for change. History shows that true learning often comes through hardship. As long as we are fat and happy, humans will continue to live the way we have lived over the last several hundred years since the Industrial Revolution. I believe that we will be coming up with that solution in the form of global warming. Some of the largest nations, including the United States and China, have not fully acknowledged the impact of climate change. Unlike the Native American principle of considering the impact on the next 7 generations, today's short-sightedness will cost our great-great-great-grandchildren great suffering. We cannot imagine today how altered the earth will be, with rising sea levels, infinitely more powerful storms, shifts in agricultural zones from their present locations to their north, more horrific flooding, and more terrible fires. I have faith, however, that confronted with these terrifying events that humanity will be confronting now, and even more so in the future, we will find a new resolve to change. That change has already started now. Former Vice President Al Gore has made it his mission through the Climate Reality Group to do educational seminars around the world on climate. I attended one such training in Chicago in 2013. My company, which does online courses for teachers, has also offered a course on climate change. Teachers will be able to take an Educating for Humanity course early in 2025. If you are not a teacher, I invite you to read the book, available on Amazon. If you're so moved, please pass along this information to family members and friends in your community. Together, we can bring about a brighter future. Thank you, Mike Seymour 843. 540-7521.